Hello there, everyone. You're looking at the new interface to Elite Dangerous, which is kind of exciting. I have to say, I like many of the modifications. They're quite well, quite well designed, at least on the surface. Before continuing, however, I do have a couple of notes to address in today's video. For the past several months, I've been involved with users on Discord, and I'm no stranger to chat facilities. I've been using them online since I first started using the internet in the mid 1990s. First beginning with Internet Relay Chat. Many of you won't know what that is, but it was an older chat system that's was as popular at least back then as Discord is now as a percentage of the user base. Um, However, I'm seeing some dynamics in the Discord chat lately that have been a little bit on the distracting side. The latest incident involves involves one user in particular, um, Commander Scorbius, who messaged me just, I guess, within the last couple of hours to tell me that he was annoyed that I had streamed. It wasn't an accident, I don't think. I'm not really sure because he doesn't reference it, but apparently I'd streamed some content from his Discord server here online. Now, if I did that, normally I ask permission to do something like that. And as you know, if you've watched my videos, you've seen cases where I've announced, both internally and publicly, that I'm doing that. Usually the users on the interior have either given blanket permission to do something like that or have explicitly stated. And I try to make a point at every opportunity to do that. And what I can't remember in this case is if I did that here explicitly. And unfortunately, I wasn't given the opportunity to say anything to him. I just got a very terse message explaining that I'd been kicked off his server and that he didn't really want to hear anything further about it from me. To summarize, so and of course, I was summarily blocked on the attempt to sort of apologize and get the offending URLs from him, which he didn't provide in his message, so I could take the content down in compliance with his demand that I do so. This seems a little emotional, and I don't really understand why. Certainly no harm was intended by it, but it does appear to have somehow become a hugely emotional reaction without an opportunity for me to offer feedback. Apart from that, I would just characterize the reaction that I got on the server as being, not unfriendly by any stretch, but it was certainly cliquish. I mean, I was new, and a certain amount of that's understandable. I'm new, I'm the outsider, but there was certainly no going out of anyone's way on any part to make a new user feel welcome. And access to this server is also summarily, I believe, documented as being part of the offering that he or, and I'm going to have to refer back, but he or others offer as part of their Patreon support. Now, I don't offer Scorbius Patreon support. I never did. I don't watch his videos, but I do watch Turgeon, his friend, who was also on the channel's videos, and he spends a great deal of time there. Whether or not it's the same server, I don't know. I'm not thinking about withdrawing my Patreon support or anything like that. It's not the point. But what I am pointing out here at this juncture is that if you do use Discord, and this is to all users, if you are using Discord, please, for the love of God, if you can't make someone feel welcome, then, why make it part of why make it part of a public Discord? Why make it, part of a service offering or something that's mentioned? Why? I think I was partly invited to Scorbius's private server because I'm working on the Solistius project, which is an application that Drew Wagar had cited in a recent video. That is something that he would like to see developed. So in response to that, and in support of the Elite Dangerous playing community, I have created an application which will be going up on GitHub hopefully in the coming weeks. It's a busy point in my life right now. I've got a lot of things I'm worrying about, including I have to do a move. I've got a probable change in employment coming up. There's just a lot going on, and this kind of a distraction when I had clearly meant no harm, and to be treated like this is a little, well, frankly, over the top. People should be given an opportunity, in my book, to at least, when they're being accused of something, to be given a chance to respond. But the Discord user base seems to feel, as a group, if I can characterize it as such, and it's not, I guess, but if I did, I would say as a group, Discord users are really not interested in giving you any kind of hearing. When they take an action like this, it's just done. Period. No route of appeal, no second chances. And that's outrageous in my book. And I'm going to say so here. I just wanted to put that out in the public as my point of view. You can feel free to disagree. That's your protected right. But at least if you live in a democracy. If not, then I take the more totalitarian view, of course. I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, I'm not much of a comedian. Anyway, so I would just say that to the general user base, and if I do something like that on Discord, I usually contain myself to my own server, but in those rare cases where I am on someone else's server streaming, and if I fail to ask permission, could you do me just the tiniest favor? Maybe try talking to me about it first and asking before you become all anxious, really upset, and start throwing a kind of tantrum about, or whatever about, and I'm not saying Scorbius did this, but necessarily it didn't sound like it to me, but before you become emotionally invested and start worrying about whether or not there are violations of etiquette or violations of, I mean, Scorbius in his message did say he couldn't imagine why. Well, this is why. And this is also, really just not being given a hearing or an opportunity to explain more than anything else is what I think has led to, it's exactly what leads to misunderstandings. And why he would imagine that, I had nefarious intent, I don't know. It certainly was not the case. So that's unfortunate. I'm not emotionally invested in this situation, really. Chat is chat. What can I tell you? I don't know these people. I don't know. I can care as much as I can about people that are 3,000 kilometers away, interfaced with me via text and perhaps voice on occasion, but that's about as far as it can go. And I'll certainly be living my life after the fact, but it just seems to me just not giving someone an opportunity to speak their mind in response to an accusation where clearly some emotions of some sort were involved in the decision. Doesn't seem to have been the best way to handle it. That being said, let us move on into the game. Oh, and to those of you who may be watching, who may be still part of Scorbius's channel, no hard feelings. If you want to talk to me, be my guest. If you don't. It really is one way or the other. I would just hope to be given the benefit of the doubt. by people who want to get to know me. And I think that's probably in one line, that would be the easiest thing for everyone to do on Discord. Is just to give people the benefit of the doubt until they give you reason not to. And I don't think I did that here. And I don't think it's fair to suggest otherwise in case it's ever mentioned publicly or elsewhere. Okay, so yes, this is my ship. This is the FNS Odyssey. I like to pretend I'm part of the Federal Navy. I'm not really part of the Federal Navy, but you know me, Mr. Pretentious, dishonest, and plotting to be nefarious at every turn I have. What in God's name? Social... Oh, these are friends who have logged in. I see. Okay. Oh, this is neat. Okay, so one thing I'm seeing here is it doesn't look like there's a way to... We've got these little, down here in the what's happening subscreen, those little dots that pulse forward. There doesn't seem to be a way to select that. And these are clearly Galnet articles. I would like to see something there that would allow us to that would allow us to select that, but it doesn't seem like it's an option. Ah, this is neat. Oh, one more thing about this: the pulses, the screen advances without user interaction. So whether you are finished reading the content in this little window or not, it's moving forward. And there's no way for you to control whether or not it goes backwards or forwards. So by way of feedback, I'd like to see that interface updated. Let's see here, controls. I'm betting you this menu is available in game. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Hang on a second, folks. Let's see if it'll let me go back into the game here quickly. Okay, the game is loading. Oh, for God's sake, let's go. Spend more time waiting for Oculus than you do for Elite to load. Oh, one more little announcement while we're watching these screens unfold. Because of recent events on Discord, both with Scorbius, which is by far and away the less serious involvement of two that have occurred so far this year, in the first 6 months of this year, um, I have decided I'm going to leave Discord, except for checking for messages from certain users. I will not be available on Discord longer if there's really that much going on where there's that level of disapproval or antic. As I said, I'm very busy. I haven't got time for the distraction, quite frankly. Um, I don't become hugely emotionally involved, but like any human being, I'm susceptible to being called out over um, over what I consider to be nonsense, rightly or wrongly. So I'm just going to back away from it for a while. Um, I think that on the whole, you should be asking permission for streaming activity to occur, but you know, people are human. Mistakes do happen, and to characterize it as something that you just cannot imagine how it would happen, well, you must be frickin' perfect then, because people do make mistakes. And if I've made one here, and I'm not sure I have, but if I have in fact made one here, I would very definitely and sincerely to all those affected apologize wholeheartedly. Um, but I do recall at some point asking for permission, I believe from within the Scorbius' server, to stream. I don't know if it coincides with the stream in question. Um, Scorbius himself may not remember. Um, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the stream. I could have asked before the stream began. I don't remember in any event. But just to finish off that thought, the etiquette itself is sound, and and I agree with it. You should be asking permission before you stream people. Um, Regardless of how this is taken, I have no intention of even making the request of people to stream on their servers in the future. I will confine that to my own. The only other possible mistake that can be made, therefore, if I do return to Discord, will be if I don't deactivate the audio and leave it one-sided. And you will see, if you go back in the history of videos here, you will find videos where, in fact, there are cases where the streaming audio did not. I was talking to someone, but you wouldn't have heard them from their side. It is possible to configure the system to do that, and it's entirely possible. I thought that was what was going on with the involvements Scorbius has cited. Again, without a specific accusation and a specific case being brought forward, it's very difficult to offer any kind of defense, even if it is a misunderstanding, which I think it is. But it is not one which is much I can do about telling me to take down all the offending content and then not providing a single instance of where I've actually broken policy, is, especially when it's not frequent and it certainly is not numerous. I honestly don't know what he's talking about. So if you are on his server, please let me know which URL is the offending URL. I'll be more than happy to take the content down. I will comply with the cease and desist demand. After all, I'm not here to make people angry. I'm here to try to get along with people, and I make that effort despite the fact that apparently I'm not very successful, which is why I'm bowing away from Discord after this matter has been cleared up. Okay, so we will continue then. Oh, and speaking of which, we have traffic inbound from Discord as we speak. One moment, please. Although I don't see how. I'm not even running Discord at the moment. Oh, it's coming through on my tablet. And of course there's an update to this too. What is this, update day? It's like they all conspire together to update at the exact same time. We've got Elite. We've had everything except Oculus is updated today. I just cannot believe it. Well, that, and I did a Windows update yesterday, but... Okay, we're streaming in with a squaddle. I'll make it evident in the stream here.
What's up?
Holy smoke! More bullshit from Discord.
Are you fucking with Marcus again?
No, this time it's Scorpius Turgeon et al.
What the hell'd
Well,
you do to them?
well, apparently I'm guilty of rebroadcasting nefariously the content from inside their server. And as you know, I do often stream both from Discord and or was up until today, streaming from both Discord and into Elite, right? As I'm doing right now, by the way, I should mention. And with you, that's worked out because you've given a sort of a blanket permission, but a lot of people don't. I understand that, and I usually ask permission. I recall asking permission on at least one occasion inside the Scorpius' server, and it was granted, if memory serves. Unfortunately, I don't know. All I get is a cryptic message from Scorpius saying, you've been banned from the server. I heard content from user A, B, C, and D in a rebroadcast session where you were not given permission, etc., 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 and you're banned from the server. And he said things like, I don't know what could have possessed you to do this. Well, I wasn't hiding it, obviously, or I wouldn't have put it up on bloody YouTube. But just the tone of the message and the way it's being presented to me, like I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like he's banned me from talking to him, banned me from his server, and the whole works. And I'm just like, but I had permission. You know, I don't get it.
Did you get permission each and every time that you logged into
No.
his server? That's where the trick would catch you.
Yeah, of course, and that makes sense. I support that. But I can't say for sure because he's not giving me specific cases of URLs. There should only be one URL. He said that there are cases of. I don't see how that's possible. But even if there were more than one, it would have been inadvertent. It would have been an error. I'm human. I do make errors. I don't claim otherwise. And if you want to ban me from your server, it's your protected right. You can do that. Go right ahead. But don't assume that I'm going to react, as if you're behaving, in a reasonable way, because it's not reasonable. You don't even give someone a chance to hear the other side or to explain how there might be a misunderstanding. It's not an adult way to operate, in my mind. It just isn't. Normally, it's an outrageous policy to just say, well, you're guilty, I have evidence, and that's the end of that. Okay, well, that's not fair. Now, no one
You,
said no one says
you,
you.
you let me jump in here a second. You're all worried about life being fair. I'm sorry, but no, life is not fair.
No, but you know what? People can be fair. People
If
can
they
be fair.
so choose to be.
Yeah, and if they are not, in my mind, I think less of them. Sorry about that. I do. It's a fact. Is it a problem for me? Hasn't been so far. Not in 40 some odd years. Not in almost 5 decades. I have never altered that behavior. Not once. And it has served me just fine.
So did you save this message that he sent you?
Yeah, it's in Discord. Would you like a copy of it?
Yeah, I want to see what it says.
Sorry, I can't do that. It was sent directly to me as part of direct messaging. I'm concerned I'd be in violation of etiquette.
Oh, fuck that.
I'm just kidding.
Like I care.
No, I think it's appropriate given the fact that this is public. Obviously, it's going to be public knowledge. I've been banned, and there might be someone who will ask why. I don't know how many people. Probably not many. I wasn't in his server that long, so. But I just find this. I'm sick and tired of Discord's antics in general. Like these, there's very clicky. If you're an outsider, you're treated kind of like shit. There's the other.
Well, you
The other thing
the
is,
one thing you need to realize about Turgeon and Scorbius and all and
don't
Obsidian
don't
Ant and
say
all
it.
them,
Don't
they
say it.
make livings off of YouTube.
No, they will argue they do not.
Bullshit.
They
It's
argue
a
they don't.
YouTube actually publishes those earnings and things like that. That's common knowledge, easily found on the internet.
Really? Okay. Well,
They may have other jobs, full time jobs, and the YouTube shit
yeah, I
is a
don't know
side
what.
thing, hobby, but they're making money.
Scorbius is a software developer himself. He has a day job like I do.
Yeah,
But
but he still makes a little bit of money with all the.
oh
You get
sure.
over 10,000 followers or something like that, and you start making money. I mean, YouTube will pay you.
Well, that's fine, but then you're also opening yourself up, and I think this is the basis of it. In Turgeon's and Scorpion's case, I think it's true for Turgeon. I don't know about Scorpius, actually. But Turgeon advertises on his Patreon site that is part of supporting him, you'll be given access to this channel, to this server. So this is like part of the package. Now I'm a supporter. Now I don't have access. And I wasn't even given a hearing. What's up with that? I'm not going to complain about it because I don't want to go where I'm not wanted. But technically, I mean, someone could form an argument saying, well, hang on a second here. You said I could have access to this as part of supporting you, and you're not offering that support. So you're not even living up to your business obligations. And there's nothing. And what recourse do you have? You can withdraw your Patreon support. That's it.
Now, what is Patreon support? You just giving them so much a month?
Yeah, I enjoy
Why?
it.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Well, because I enjoy his videos. He's a graphic artist who's not really making that much. I know that much about him, and I believe him because I happen to have worked with graphic artists. And if you don't have a full-time job working for Pixar, basically, I know you're probably starving. So that's the reality of the situation for graphic artists. They're undervalued, in my opinion. Anyway, it's my money and it's my business. So there, I can do it if I want to.
No,
I don't have to justify it to you or to anyone else. It's just something I do. But
I just asked a simple question and you answered it.
yep, I did. But the point is not that. The point is that as part of that, there is a cited obligation that through your advertising you are not you specifically, but he and or they are saying you'll have access to this, and now it's not being granted. Well,
There's always terms and conditions to every.
yeah, but the terms and conditions, where are they? I mean, I don't see them anywhere. Like maybe there are. I don't know. I didn't look that hard.
I'll be back in about 5 seconds. I gotta get something to drink.
Okay. In the meantime, folks, we're going to do open play here, so let's go on. Now, before someone gets all up in arms about me making that point, there is something I'm pretty sure on Turgeon's page. My argument is not with Turgeon in any way, at least not at this point.
What?
He hasn't said or done anything.
No, what are you talking?
I'm talking to my users because I'm streaming at the same time you're getting your drink and futzing around and doing whatever you're doing at your end.
Open up Smirnoff Ice.
What's that?
Smirnoff. Screwdriver.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm gonna take a break from Discord. It's just, you know what? My main complaint with Discord is it's gotten worse than IRC used to be.
Don't know. Never used IRC.
IRC predated. It was the group chat facility that predated the popularity of Discord, and now Discord is the new app, right? It's got a lot of features IRC didn't. It's better, but it also forms cliques. It allows two-way voice communications. Some people get emotionally invested as a result. And there seems to be a lot more harm in general being brought about by these cliques that form by people who get emotionally pissed off with you or invested with you and feel it's their right to hide behind a terminal and to shout insults at you and to chase you down via email and harass you online and etc., etc., etc. All things that would never have happened back in the days of IRC. Or if they did, they would have been extremely rare and might have even resulted in the police being involved, actually.
You know better than most people how
I do.
technology has advanced in the last, 20, 30 years.
30, and yes, I do.
And does it really surprise you that nowadays people can track each other down online?
A little. To the extent they can, yeah, I would have to say so.
There's generally good reason why I don't give out a lot of personal information.
No,
so
and
that people don't come looking trying to track me down.
I respect privacy, but I've also given up on it. I mean, as much as I try to remain as private as I can and maintain a public persona online as well, because I need one for my job, I need one for gaming, I need one for this or for that, I try to manage it, right? I don't pretend like, oh, and I'm not going to have a public persona. I try to manage the personas and the personae so that I'm in control. And sometimes they get a little bit out of control. And in gaming, it happens with far greater rapidity and with greater regularity than it does in my professional life. I guess that's not a surprise. I've had, I've received the traditional email solicitations for email claiming that someone saw me having sex and doing things I shouldn't be, or something that would embarrass me, and they're going to email all my coworkers pictures of me having sex. Well, I don't care. But, I mean, it would be embarrassing, yes, but I'm not giving you money anyway. And that's that, right? Like, it doesn't... And everyone's getting these messages. I'm also aware of that. There are hucksters and people out there. You have to be sort of street smart, and you have to be aware that there are people out there who have got very little to offer in the way of evidence to back up what they're saying, and they just email you. I mean, look at Alphabox emailing me all kinds of insults in email after an argument that didn't even directly involve him, just because he's buddies with someone on Discord. That is just unconscionable behavior for any rational adult, as far as I'm concerned. And what is it about Discord that causes that to happen?
It's not Discord that causes it.
No, I guess not, but Discord is facilitating it somehow. I don't know how. I can't point to it yet. I'm not a sociologist, but I can tell you that it has not been this way previously. That's all I know, and it's a little bit It's just something I'm tired of. And if I wasn't on Discord, people who aren't on Discord don't have to put up with. So the solution seems to be don't be on Discord until you figure it out. And for that reason, I think I'm going to take a break from Discord and try to figure it out. I'll have to give it some thought. But I've got a lot going on in my life right now. I'm moving. I'm switching jobs at the same time. You know, I have to worry about my health, my cat. You know, like there's all kinds of shit going on that are not necessarily... I guess it's not the most, exciting social life, God knows, but it's exciting to me because I'm living it. I'm interested in playing Elite. I love playing Elite, even now, during this interregnum period where they're not really advancing the architecture very much. And I'm not going to let Discord stand in the way of that. But if I did get emotionally invested and started worrying about what people thought of me on Discord, it could turn into that very easily. It could turn into a point where I was sick and tired of having anything to do with anyone online. And that's wrong. It just isn't necessary. That's why I use the terms like outrageous and I'd even go so far as to call it adolescent behavior in some cases, especially in cases involving Marcus, Faramir, and whatnot. There's more to life than pissing other people off or trying to cause them harm. It shouldn't be about that. No matter how angry you are with someone, it really isn't worth it, in my mind. Maybe it is to them. Well, that's their issue. It's not up to me. That's their problem. But I'm not going to make it my problem. And this is one of the ways I'm doing, trying to avoid that from becoming the case. If I was stuck here in this Discord universe and unable to leave, I could see myself getting very tired of this very quickly, where it'd be like, look, first of all, you don't go around accusing people without at least having A, evidence presented, and B, giving them the chance to respond. What human being does that? If you tried that in if you can't do it from behind a terminal, then why the hell are you doing that in behind a terminal? If it was real life, you would never treat anyone like this. I'm quite sure that Scorpius in his professional life would never ever get away with something like this. He wouldn't try. How could he maintain a working relationship with every person that he felt slighted by, and then decided, oh well, you acted this way, and I'm not going to put up with it. So now, blah 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 blah. And it's all a simple misunderstanding when just talking to the person could clear it all up in a matter of seconds. But no, it's Discord, so we'll just let it. We'll get rid of the undesirable element, and that's that. And we'll use this as the excuse, when it may not, for all I know, may not even be the real reason. Maybe that's a lie. Maybe there's something else going on. I'm not saying that that's the case. But there's all these factors to consider. I guess there would be in real life too. I don't know what I'm saying. It's just kind of, it's a distraction. It's not a necessary one. When it's so easily avoided. But it does take the participation of more than one person. I can't carry the entire user base on my back and say, well, listen, here's what I think the right way to behave is. And here's what's reasonable and here's what's not. I shouldn't be the arbiter of that. It should be obvious, and you should be able to figure it out. It doesn't take very much thought, in my mind. You can feel free to disagree with that, but that's how I think. Does that make any sense to you?
No, because you're trying to have your cake and eat it too.
Elaborate.
You're trying to have everything, whether it's realistic or not.
Realistic. I'm not sure. I don't think I understand.
Um, you're all worried about how other people don't aren't doing things that you seem to think is fair. They're not doing it the way you think is fair. Well, you're not also considering you're not looking at their viewpoint.
No, I did try to look at it from his point of view, but all he has is an accusation. What more is there?
Well, sometimes in the world of public opinion, that's all you need is an accusation.
That's certainly true, and I've seen that happen. But it's not enough for me. It never has been. And I can't think of a single instance in my entire life, not to say there isn't one, but I cannot think of something, certainly not in my adult life, where I've actually taken someone else's word about the behavior of someone else, even with evidence, and not given them the opportunity to explain themselves. Now, I'm sure it's happened over an emotional issue or something at the time it seemed particularly emotional to me. I don't get the impression that's the case here. According to his words, the words I have from him on the subject, there is no emotional issue that's relevant. It's simply the case that, like, I didn't insult his wife. I didn't, like, offend his children or step on his grandmother's toes or, like, whatever. Like, there wasn't any real catalyst for this. It was just that, oh, you broke policy or broke etiquette. Now, if I take that as if everything is as it seems on the surface, there isn't enough there. If I try to imagine what might be below the surface, that's different. But then again, I can imagine all kinds of terrible things. So how is that useful? I can't differentiate between what's likely the case and what's not based on someone telling me, oh, we're gonna ban you because of this, or we're kicking you out of our lives because of this, and here's why. And then there's some ulterior motive behind it that's not the case, but I'm left only to guess what that might be.
Yeah, I think you need to just stop thinking too much.
Well, no, I'm just telling you. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just telling you what led me to these conclusions. And you said, "Oh, well, you're having your cake and eat it too." So I'm trying to understand your point as part of this conversation. In effect, you asked me to think about it. Was I mistaken?
Oh no.
If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. I'm just trying to explain why I'm going to take a break from Discord more than anything.
I'm trying to play parent.
The other thing is, I don't want you to. I mean, you don't have to respond to my every hail from within Elite. But if you get a hail from me within Elite, don't expect me to be on Discord because that probably won't be the case for at least a while.
Yeah, and don't expect me to sit in game comms all day either because that
No, no, I know.
squawking and
No,
background noise
no, I didn't.
sucks.
I didn't say I did. I'm not going to. I know you have a. I know you have an objection. Actually, Spike, for his part, prefers game chat. You know why? With me, anyway. Because Discord doesn't even work properly between certain blocks of the continent. You and I are. It's central to Eastern, so there's not very much lag. But Eastern to Western, there's lag, and he gets all garbled and chopped up. So there's that. So he prefers to be in game when he talks to me. I think. Of course I think. I just said it. Anyway, whatever. So, what do you think of the new interface?
Don't know. I haven't logged in that game in about 4 or 5 days.
I'm just looking at the interface right now. It's interesting. Well, they've made several changes, most of which seem to be improvements. You get a lot more information on your screen. Uh,
Oh, view standard up.
you know what else I've noticed? Just to finish this thought off, when I look at the analytics, guess which of my videos are the most popular far and away? I mean, like by hundreds of users, hundreds of views.
Now, when I look at your videos on YouTube, it's only showing maybe a dozen views
A which?
on most of your video.
It shows you what? I didn't catch that.
That you only have maybe 10, maybe 15 views on most video.
Well, I have 10 or 15 subscribers on YouTube, but I have many more views happening.
It doesn't broadcast how many times it's actually been viewed.
No, no. You'll get a list of subscribers, and it will tell you how many of those I have, but it doesn't tell you how many views I get. That's only available to me.
Then they need to reword the way they got shit shown up.
I guess so. But I mean, there are hundreds of views. Hundreds. In some cases. And on Twitter. I also get the Twitter analytics. And the Twitter analytics are even more exaggerated than the YouTube ones. And it looks to me, if Twitter's any indication, it looks to me like if you watch one of the videos on Twitter, in that little screen, you don't necessarily, like, it's not necessarily crediting YouTube or something, like, because it seems like the click-throughs I'm getting on Twitter, which means you had to click through to YouTube to the actual video and then watch the video, unless you just clicked through to the video and didn't watch it, but why would you do that? But I mean, it's even higher on Twitter, the numbers. They're even more exaggerated. And what causes that, I don't know exactly, but I do know this, that the most popular videos that I have are the ones where conflict results. Where I'm discussing a conflict or where there is conflict. Far and away. It's almost like British tabloid scale. Like if I just play my game normally, I get a few views. Okay, that's nice. But if there's a conflict or there's an incident that I'm discussing, holy smokes, suddenly the viewership goes right up through the roof. It's as if people want conflict. They just need it. Or something. And I hate to say it, I don't really like that. You know?
Part of life.
It's part of life, I guess, and maybe it's human nature, but they're just like, ooh, people find that stuff intriguing. I mean, the best thing that I could do is piss as many people off as possible and run off at the mouth, citing, what a terrible thing it is that I'm being treated this way, and I bet you I would just get tons and tons of videos, views because of this. I wouldn't reach celebrity scale or anything. Like, I wouldn't be able to make money off of YouTube ad revenue or anything like that. I certainly wouldn't get the kind of throughput that Scorbius and Turgeon do as content creators. But I do a lot better than I'm doing, but that isn't my goal. I mean, I appreciate viewership, but I don't, I'm not going after it, specifically. It's just something I put up there, for the public to review for its own consumption, and and to contribute a bit to the community's content, I guess, more than anything. That will change a little bit when I publish Solstice, because I'll actually have a published application. I'm hoping it's successful, and I'm hoping it's what Drew Wagar and yes, Scorbius and Turgeon are looking for in a tool. I even hope that when cooler heads prevail, that Scorbius reverses his policy and will still contribute feedback to the Solstice tool. I probably won't respond to him directly, but I mean, I would like to see any and all feedback from any user as a software developer. I need beta testers in order to make the tool correct, to make it address user needs. The loss of Scorbius is actually, more than anything, is probably the most serious thing to me. So I guess I did have stake in it, and that I did have something to lose on that score. Not that I was really thinking about that until just now, but full disclosure, I do have stake here.
What?
What's that?
I'm playing my game.
So I understand from Spike you're playing a game with your kids. Is that it?
No.
Okay.
I'm playing Skyrim. Kids started playing it, so I
okay.
had to go and get it all set back up the way I had it. Computer fucked up.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I had a lot of mods loaded. I had to reload them and view them.
They added a starport in here. Oh yeah, you know what? I gotta decide if I have to go out to the coal sack again, or what. Let's just have a look at the galaxy map interface. Are you in Cubeo?
I'm not even in the game.
Oh, I keep forgetting, sorry. Someone's in Cubeo. Someone on my list. Oh, Commander Jonas, okay. Because I thought I thought we all left Asialing behind. At least my squadron seems to be doing okay for the moment. I got a user. Oh, here we are. Let's have a look and see if I got another one. Nope. I'm just glad I have one user.
One user of what?
In my squadron. This David Osgood. He seems like a pretty cool guy so far. But of course, I didn't talk to him on Discord. I talked to him in game. Like all the people I talked to in game, people like you, Spike, and whatnot, you guys have actually had longevity getting to know me and being in my life way, well, to the extent you can be, way more than any Discord user ever has. Anyone I've met through Discord. I know, I find that interesting. I think it's strange. Because you relate to people so well, you can adapt to like almost any context, but like there's something... I'm trying to understand people here as well. Part of my thinking is that set up that way, trying to understand. And I don't know why I'm seeing some of these patterns and what's different between Discord and in-game chat, other than the obvious. There is a silver lining here, of course. At least it's good to know someone's looking at my videos. Even if it's only as a means to get rid of me off the server that they frequent. See, the other thing is, it wasn't Scorbius that found that content either. I'm also cognizant of that. There was someone else involved, who as yet has gone unnamed. Someone who obviously had either an issue with me or an issue with the with what had happened, unaware of the fact that I had at some point asked permission. Is your game working?
Yeah. I'm just in a dungeon fighting a bunch of skeletons. I got the skeletal dragon killed. Now I gotta kill everything.
So is this third person perspective or first person?
I can switch back and forth depending on what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
If you really want to watch it, go look at the stream.
Yeah, which?
Mixer.com
Oh,
/Squaddle.
you're posting to YouTube now as well.
Not to YouTube. Mixer. Same one
yes.
that Spike used.
Yeah, Mixer, I used to use Mixer myself to actually republish to YouTube. I didn't know that they got their own server, actually. I think I was using Mixer before they had that service. But at some point I couldn't get Mixer to work anymore on my Windows, like the rebroadcast tool, which is why I switched to OBS. OBS is also public domain, so there's that. Well, I can't decide what the hell. Hang on. I'm in my Crate Phantom. And I can go back out to the star system, planet 6A, where there's a crashed Anaconda. Oh, I was supposed to look online. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's go back to where my ship is. Well, that's neat. They took a button off the interface. Now you can't auto zoom to where you are on the galaxy map. You have to find your icon, which means shutting off the galaxy map and turning it back on again, which is kind of unfortunate. Here, let's go over here. Where is it? I can go kill some Thargoids, maybe. The Spike just likes killing Thargoids. He loves to kill Thargoids. I'm told we might see the Thargoids put an appearance in soon. We'll get to see what they actually look like. Well, this will be good. I have to make a... Yeah. Course laid in.
Oh, don't. Fuckers.
Hey!
I just got shoved off the edge of the cliff. I need to go figure out some. Oh.
Hey?
That's not cool.
Something's happening.
Game just.
game craft out?
Yeah.
Let's turn off the landing gear, please. Where the hell is it? Oh, there's also a new orbiting computer. So we're gonna try that out right now. Okay, so I have no idea how this works. Thrusters. I have no idea how to turn on this orbiting computer, or this cruise mode cruise mode computer. We're gonna have to figure that out in a moment. See if I can turn on the, hang on. There's a Super Cruise. Where is the Super Cruise computer? No. It doesn't say that there's a... Oh, that's weird. It doesn't say that there is a Super Cruise computer. Maybe you have to buy it. Course laid in and jumping.
Yeah, I'll be back. I gotta class.
Okay.
Shift drive charging.
Time for drinky. Ugh. God, I hate spring. Ugh. Skin is so dry. Okay. And
Shift drive charging.
do you really think it's wrong for me to expect, like, that people hear each other out? Like, listen to one another?
It's wishful thinking.
But is it wrong to think that? Like,
it's wishful thinking. It's not realistic. You know it's not gonna happen.
no, but it says something about you, does it not, as a person, if you're just going to completely disregard what someone has to say in their own defense? I mean, it's core to our judicial system for a reason, surely. Right?
No.
You're supposed to give someone... You don't just try a case and listen to the accuser and then send them to jail. It's not supposed to be how it works. The other person... What's that?
Are you sure? It sounds pretty
well,
realistic to me.
Now that you mention it. I suppose that's true, but I mean, is that really what we want? Is it what's desirable? Is it right? These are all questions that I have for... I mean, if I'm being completely unrealistic in terms of how I expect people to, in their soberest mind, which people aren't always in their soberest mind, but when they've had a chance to think about the situation, surely that's what we all want, isn't it? Am I wrong to think so? Or are there really people out there who really believe, yeah, like, just burn the fucker, like, whatever. As soon as there's evidence against you, you're as guilty as sin. Let's put a bullet in your head, or take whatever extreme action seems appropriate.
Haha! Kill the troll!
Excellent. Commander Crusher is asking questions of me now.
Who's that?
I don't know. He's transmitting to local.
Yeah, I'm finding more gold. Really?
Come
Oh, there's
on.
mines.
Shit. I know what the problem is here. I don't even have a docking computer.
Might not dock very well.
What's that?
You might not be able to dock very well.
Well, I can do a manual docking, but I know how to dock manually. I'm not some. Oh, you should have seen online this morning. Holy fuck, it was hilarious. They had some noob at Frontier trying to use the new user system.
2,000 meters from touchdown.
It didn't turn out very well.
And no, it didn't turn out very well at all. He had no idea what the hell he was doing.
Attention. Maintain nominal separation distance.
And he couldn't even get out the mail slot. Like, for like a good long while. He almost ran out of time. He was literally 3 seconds away from being shot at by the starport for being inside the starport too long. And then finally he made his way through the mail slot, crashing into the walls as he went. It was the most hilarious thing I'd seen in years, I swear to God. And I guess I shouldn't laugh, you know, making light of someone else, some new users' problems, but I don't recall my having that much of an issue when I was learning how to play myself. It just seemed I had an easier time learning how to fly spaceships than this guy was having. Good God. I think Elite has probably posted it on their server, so if you get a chance, have a look at it, but it honestly was quite funny. And then he's being shouted at, right, by like the 3 people around him from Frontier. They're like trying to counsel him about how to fly his ship. And they're like, no, you have to do this, you have to do that. Hey, turn on your booster engine. You know, like, why are you counseling a newbie to like turn on his booster in the middle of a starbase? Like, it's just not gonna go well, right? And of course he slams into the wall, you know, like it was just a riot. He's got 3 people each shouting different instructions to him, and he had no idea what the hell to do. And meanwhile, he's live online in front of God knows how many million users. I can't imagine that scene. Oh, it's a story for the grandkids, what can I tell you? Whoa, it's at laggy at Jameson right now. There's a lot of people logged in. What do we got going on here? My night vision broke. Apparently there's a whole bunch of bugs going on here for some users.
Playing that.
What's that?
I've learned not to play games right after big updates.
Yeah. Holy shit! The server is actually erroring out. It won't give me. It won't give me Starport services. It's just saying it's giving me a server error. Yeah, I can't restock my weapon supplies. It goes server error. Press OK to return to station services. I don't know what's going on here. Galnet, GNN, the Galactic News Network, is working perfectly. Pilots Federation has established regular restricted area space for duly licensed commanders. Blah, 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 blah. Representatives Alliance, Empire, and Federation confirmed approval. Hadrian Duval confirms pact with Aisling. And that's it. Nothing else is going on except for the update.
Another Thum!
Hey?
The ability to speak Dragon language. Word of power, Thum.
Now, I have a find somewhere. Contacts. I'm allowed to use contacts. Authority contact. Any finds? No finds. Bonds? No bonds. There's a tech broker. Yeah, I guess I could go out to the Guardian area again. I don't know. But first, in order to review our systems manifest, I'm going to switch ships. Shipyard. There are 5 ships here, including the Gardica, Asp Explorer, Crate Mark II Trantoria, Python Quantica, Anaconda Ambrosia, and of course the Federal Corvette Generex. And we are using a Generex because we're likely going to go mine some asteroids for a bit. Oh yeah, I don't know if you heard about the big controversy regarding the missile drag thing.
What?
Well, there's an upgrade for your missiles you can get, right? Called drag something or
Oh,
other.
drag munition.
Yeah, drag munitions.
Oh, I
And
vaguely heard about it.
if someone shoots at you now, your turbo doesn't work. So everyone's complaining that there's now it's going to be a bonanza for gankers and whatnot. So
Was already.
yeah, all the more reason to get a tougher ship.
More reason to learn how to fly.
I do know how to fly, just don't know how to fight properly.
All the more reason to learn.
Oh! Oh! Oh, I have an additional compartment. Browse the shop.
Oh,
Class 1 Flight Assist module. The Super Cruise Assist.
they
Here.
already killed my bad guy before I had a chance. Just sad.
Yeah.
Ooh, Staff of Magnus, I got it. Mordecai.
Aha. Now I have Super Cruise Assist. Now I am powerful. Now I can take over the whole galaxy. Ha 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 ha. Okay, it might not be true, exactly. Besides which, even if I claim the whole galaxy, no one will listen to me. And that's really the main problem, isn't it? People need to listen to me. If the whole world listened to me, it would be much better.
We'd all be screwed. The hell? Oh, there you go.
Actually, I think we'd all probably die from the boredom. Okay, Guardian Frame Assist, Drive Booster, Shield Banks, all online, and I need to put, oh yeah, hard points. Well, first of all, we need the refinery, and I need a bigger refinery. The refinery I was using is shit. So, no more shit refinery. I would like to take out the fuel tank. And we would like the nice refinery. So, alright. Store. I would like the shit refinery replaced with browse shop, the nice refinery. Where is the nice refinery? Here it is. Class 4 refinery. It only has one bin. Oh, no, it doesn't. That's a lie. 4A refinery has 10 bins. Let's have that. And then we need the, wait a minute. Optional to only prospecting limpet.
I'm gonna go kill a troll. Kill a troll. Frost troll even.
Trolls are kind of I don't know, they're kind of disgusting creatures.
They're big hairy things in this game. Like with 7 pairs of eyes. Like that.
Yeah, they're not very nice as a general rule. They want to club you over the head and eat your brains. Unless that's ogres I'm thinking of, but anyway, neither is very nice. We're going to replace Mr. Repair Limpet Controller with Prospector. Or not. Prospector
Where
Limpet.
the hell?
Haha. We will take the seismic charge launcher. And we need the one class 1 abrasion blaster to replace. Oh, I don't know. Let's replace the pulse laser. We'll keep the shard cannon handy. that should leave us with 119 in the locker. Nope, we're at 120 in the locker. We are going to get rid of one of our Class 4A shield generators because it's not being used ever. And it is not prismatic. We now have 118 of 120 in the locker. Excellent. We're now ready. Let's get ready to leave this system. Oh, we can restock again. But not everything, because apparently the starport ran out of munitions or something. You can't restock everything. Very strange. But as they always say, hallowed are the Ori. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Just making sure you're still alive. Sometimes I think you might be dead. Oh, we have a new icon in the list here. What does it say? I think it's a trading symbol. Oh, they changed all the galaxy map symbols. They all are different now. Oh, those are starter zone markers. Oh. Well, the starter zone is certainly not very big. You need a district permit to enter the starter zone. I don't have one, so I will be SOL. Alright. Now, what about this one? Leasty. Yeah, let's go to Leasty. There's an engineer up here. I was going to see about something or other. No. to the... Here's what we'll do. Course lead in for Coriolis Space Station. And launching. And the starport has just blown someone up. Oh, there's the remains of a starship bouncing off the wall.
Ship uncoupled. You are go for departure.
And it just hit my ship. And another piece just hit my ship. And oh, there is a cutter here. Engines all ahead flank.
Landing gear retracted.
Caution. Unsafe maneuvers will not be tolerated. You are not authorized to be in this area. Leave immediately.
I just crashed into someone and his shields were deleted and I damaged his hull 59% accidentally. That was unfortunate.
Frameshift drive charging.
Of course, I was being a bit of an idiot.
You have left the no-fire zone. This is traffic operations. Signing off.
my ship is on fire. Oh, I might have an apartment, by the way.
I thought you had one already lined up.
No, I didn't have one at all. I applied for one, got turned down on basis of credit. So I picked one downtown, and I think I stand a pretty good chance of getting it, but we'll see. If I do get it, it'll be amazing. That would be some very welcome news. Oh shit, I didn't play with the, hang on.
Core Dynamics, Alpha Romeo Zero. You're clear for approach, Commander. Submit a request and enjoy your stay.
Charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1.
This pilot's handbook isn't very useful. It doesn't explain the interface to your ship at all. Not very impressed with that, I can tell you that right now, and I haven't even read the damn thing. Standard docking computer. Okay, so there it goes. Super Cruise Assist. Okay. They've added something called hyperspace dethrottle. I don't know what that's about exactly. Here, let's just... go over here and type in Super Cruise Assist Elite Stage. Ugh. Okay, it doesn't explain how the hell this thing works. Like, there's literally nothing online so far about it.
Hey, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. So as part of the Reboot and Restart series, I go back and revisit certain parts of the game that may be new and new for new commanders. And today I want to talk about Super Cruise Assist. It's just been introduced now, the April 2019 update, and I thought I'd have a look at it because at first glance it wasn't quite as intuitive as what I thought it was. Yeah, I'd read all about it, but didn't really sort of give me much of a clue. So anyway, here we are. We're in the left-hand panel screen. We're looking at Jameson Memorial. We're going to move over to the second icon that says Super Cruise Assist. We're going to press that. Fair enough. It says align your ship with the destination, so we're going to move up and align it, and it says move your throttle then into the blue zone. Now
Okay, so I have an instruction now on Super Cruise Assist, which took way too long to find. Oh.
I am gonna go to bed.
Are you? Okay. Well, we'll talk to you another time. Take care of yourself. We'll be in touch. So, according to this, that's not it. Come on. Holy smokers. Okay. Line with target destination. That's neat.
Core Dynamics, Alpha Romeo Zero. The Federation welcomes you, Commander. We'd be happy to serve you at this port. You are go for automated docking. Enjoy the ride, Commander.
Scan detected.
Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for us tonight as well. Covered a lot of ground. The recent dismissal from Scorpius, the server, of course, leading off tonight's video, but we also achieved several in-game goals. And I'm ready to do mining with our next video. So, moving right along, that's what we'll be doing next. Again, this is a very busy time, so may not be returning out videos absolutely every day, but there will always be more from Commander Trium. Don't forget you can visit our my Twitter page at twitter.com/Commander_Trium. It's CM as in Mike DR
Docking confirmed. Dispatching ground crew.
underscore
Commander, enjoy your visit.
character TRIUM as in Mike. This will take you to not only this video but other videos in the past on my YouTube page. linked directly from Twitter. Also, other web properties are linked there. Also, I may have some comments about the forthcoming, not just the forthcoming Solistus release, but also the forthcoming coverage of the update that was released today. Thanks again for watching, Commanders. Very much appreciated. And of course, as always, have a good night and fly safe. This is Commander Trium, signing off at 5:38:18 Zulu, 24 April 3305, from MacArthur Gateway and the LHS 346 system.